Hello and welcome back to Talk of the Traitors. I'm Benedict Townsend.
And I'm Hannah Townsend.
How you doing, Hannah Townsend?
It's been a day.
It's been a day.
It's just been a very emotional day, hasn't it?
It's been lovely. Our footage from our interview with Pierce Brosnan came to us. We put the first clip out. Hannah, I didn't know this. At the end of the interview, she said, I just want to say my husband, me, has been a fan of you his whole life. Because I have. Pierce Brosnan is like the number one celebrity I've always been a fan of. And, you said, I just want to tell you, Pierce, how much this means to us. And it was a lovely moment. And he said, thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Benedict. And yeah, and we were just watching that video back and it was just quite emotional. And I posted the video and all of my friends or anyone who's ever met me was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We know how much this means to you.
Yeah.
It really is like if you met Taylor Swift, isn't it?
I think, we'll do a full podcast episode with a big debrief because I think the story actually going into it is quite funny.
Yes.
Of what this interview was and kind of how it came about and the worry that it might be cancelled.
Yes.
It wasn't, touch all the wood, but I don't know. Today, I have just cried so much and big tears.
Big.
And what we noticed is that they were just very large tears. And I wonder what it is that makes, when they were falling, they were such large puddles.
Yeah, you're going for quality over quantity.
Can I tell you something? When you went out and I was still crying, I was sobbing. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said out loud, stop crying.
Are you okay though? Why? I mean, I get it's been emotional. I guess we're also quite tired.
No, I think, look, it was really emotional doing that interview.
Yeah.
I think with all of these things, we don't want to go too much into sad. We want to keep this a nice, happy place. But I think it's such a strange thing to experience, really happy, exciting things and them also be at the same time sad. And I think I'm trying to understand that.
Yeah, because, we'll get into it fully in a separate episode. But yeah, because James Bond was a real thing I bonded over with my dad and I lost my dad, not that long ago. And, there's so many emotions kind of all tied together in that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to unpack in a kind of lovely way. But we will do that on a non-Traitors
We will
podcast.
unpack that another time. We will keep this. There's a lot of bad in the world. We'll keep this happy and light and traitorous.
Yes. Well, is there anything I can do to make you feel better? Would you like my smoky mirror? What an episode. This pretty unprecedented, constantly unpredictable series of The Traitors. You might worry going into series 4 of UK Traitors, have we seen it all before? Is it all going to be predictable? Nope. Not for a second.
Do you think Fiona is a plant? She was an actress / was massaged or told to do things or spice things up. I'm not saying she was. I'm just asking if you think there could be any weight behind that as a theory.
Well, now that she's come in, thrown the grenade in her own parlance, and then immediately left, it does feel like a bit of a guest appearance. And so I don't think the show could have paid actors or anything like that. But in a way, I do wonder if her game plan was always just to be there for a good time, not a long time.
Yes, and make a splash. I've seen a lot online of people very annoyed at her because they feel like she broke the traitor's oath. And I do understand that.
Which she did, by the way. We'll get to that.
She did. That said, it got everyone talking. She's made a name for herself in Traitors history. There will be people that get further than her in this game who get forgotten.
Yeah.
If it was
There's
me...
people in the game currently that I forget are there sometimes.
If it was... Oh, God, poor Ellie.
Oh, bland Ellie. When they were all celebrating that they got it, they went, yay! Sorry, Ellie. Yay! We all unanimously guessed Ellie. Sorry, Ellie, by the way.
What was she voted for?
Blandest.
Blandest?
Yeah,
That's
blandest.
So mean.
I also would argue, I don't think she is the blandest. Until the very end of this episode, I would have argued that Matthew, no offense, that Matthew was the blandest, but he came with some heat.
From what we have seen so far, I would also agree Matthew had come across as the blandest.
Yeah, to be fair, maybe in the castle he was an absolute hoot.
Maybe, but we don't see him too much.
Maybe he was doing handstand shots, we didn't know.
Let's go back to Fiona.
Yesterday we discussed how Fiona is only 62 years old, though she constantly talks as if she's 900. Claudia is 53 years old. Fiona is only 9 years older than Claudia, and she's going around saying stuff like, there's life within the old girl yet. I mean...
Even her closing speech, she mentioned something about being, giving a last chance or something to an old girl.
Fiona, you could conceivably live for 40 more years. I'll be honest, at the beginning of the episode, I didn't necessarily think it would go this way. I think it was all to play for. As it went on, I think she had just attracted so much attention to herself.
And I also think that Rachel does just have such a backing. Even though I think some people are suspicious of her, they're happy to go with Rachel to keep her on side. Like we saw Harriet vote for Fiona, which I think was maybe a little bit surprising.
Yep.
And so I think, yeah, the odds were just not in her favour.
It was also absolutely wild of Fiona to think that Stephen would be loyal to her, a new traitor, as opposed to Rachel, someone who's already been there.
I see what you're saying, but it kind of came out that her and Stephen are best friends, which Rachel even seemed surprised at.
I like Stephen a lot as a person. He might be one of the worst traitors we've ever seen, one slip up after another, and yet in a kind of Mr. Bean fashion, he keeps just surviving. And this situation with Fiona was like a blessing from the gods that fell in his lap that conveniently solved the library situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he may not be the most strategic, but he's got luck on his side.
It's a bit of an Alan Carr, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the sense that it's like, is he not the most obvious traitor? All of the cages are closing in on him, and yet he just keeps going.
Jessie literally, and Jessie's so sharp, Jessie was like, who was in the cages and in the library? She's like, 2 of the people in the cages have been proved faithful. The only people left are Stephen and Sam.
Yeah.
And yet she didn't follow through.
Let's talk about the turret then. What did we think about the meeting in the turret?
Rachel clearly was put out, but I think she could see kind of the funny side. I think she was just a bit like bowled over by the whole thing.
I don't think it was as awkward in the turret as I thought it might be. I actually think it kind of went okay. There were a few kind of funny, sharp digs.
Do you think there was a lot of pep talking beforehand from the
Yes.
producers
Yes.
going, let's all calm down, we're all friends, keep it light? I think there was maybe a little bit of that. They all seemed a bit like they'd been calmed down.
Yeah.
Apart from Stephen, who just seemed shell-shocked the whole time. We then had another Traitors First, which was basically a mercy killing, which is what we both called it at home. And then the traitors themselves called it a mercy killing, basically put Rhys out of his misery.
Yeah.
And then we had genuine shock at breakfast.
Yeah, well, people couldn't understand it. I'm still a little bit trying to work out quite why they killed Rhys. Was it because he'd been like determined a faithful? So they're, you know, whenever it's 100% sure on someone, they're like not going to get a vote. They're not going to cause suspicion. So actually they're an extra body in the game, which is a bit annoying as a traitor. They're not like a pawn piece you can move.
Yes, and also there was only a select number of people they could murder. I think they didn't have many good choices.
Yeah.
Like good strategic choices. So I think, basically everyone had decided he was a faithful at that point, and so get rid of him.
Bless him. I think he had a bit of a tough game. It maybe wasn't the most fun to watch.
No, but he had an okay exit interview where he seemed a little bit more upbeat. It is really sad and kind of, in a way, the perfect sad end to his journey that he didn't even get to see everyone realise he was innocent. No joy for Rhys at any time.
Just tears.
Just tears.
Rhys is me looking in that mirror earlier going, stop crying.
Well, Hannah, you weren't the only person looking into a mirror today. How's that for a Sagoo?
As challenges go, quite enjoyed this one.
I would say rapid.
Yeah.
I think they were playing that game for about 5 minutes of screen time.
That's all we need for the challenges.
I'm fine with that, by the way.
If you're watching and you're listening, that's all we need.
Yeah, it was like a little bit of challenge and then straight to a nice twist that you get to talk to the traitors.
Were the mirrors screens?
I think so.
That's really tricks my brain. How does that work?
Well, I mean, a mirror is just glass and there's a screen, not just glass.
Much to think about.
Much to think about. Most of technology, just glass.
We have to talk about Roxy when they said, who's the most likable?
Yes.
Was it likable or popular? And she went, could it be me?
She's like, I just want to say, I think a lot of people do like me. And you know what? She's not crazy on that one.
No, she's
very
really
likable.
nice. But that was such a funny thing to say. I wasn't just being boastful just then.
It's okay, Roxy.
It's okay. No one voted for you and you didn't get it. But that's that's the worst thing. You can only put yourself forward for most likable if you're 100% sure. If you were like a traitor who had voted and and you knew who was going to win, and you were like, could it be me?
Yeah.
You can't.
It's so funny.
So bad.
And then everyone voted unanimously, and they all put Jesse, was it? Unanimously. Sam, I will give him credit. He took it on the chin when he got most arrogant. I know I say it every episode, he really screwed up the way he entered this game. Because I'm actually weirdly liking him more and more, because he's having to act more like a normal person. And also, he's just constantly on the defense, because
I'm unsure on Sam. He immediately said, well, I've had a lot worse said to me. And it's like, well, what have you had worse
why?
said to you and why?
Yeah.
That makes me feel, I'm unsure.
But within the game, I think he's doing okay. He did a good job defending himself. They are just going to banish him. It's one of those bees in the bonnet that they get. Like, Sam is going to have to get banished because they can't let that go.
Yeah.
Jade is going to get banished because they can't let that go. It's really weird with Jade because we also don't see much from Jade.
We really don't see much from Jade.
I think she is just quite quiet, and I think she has kind of like a resting, sour expression.
Well, when they were watching her at breakfast and they were like, look at Jade, and she just kind of is just there. She's just being.
I know. When they were like, look at her, and it cut to her and she was just doing nothing.
Yeah.
She's completely impassive. And I was like, what are they possibly seeing? But she just looked a little bit sad. And I think it's probably because everyone keeps like pointing at her from across the room and going, she's being a traitor. I think she's entering the Reese zone a bit. She's getting a bit dejected.
I would actually agree with that, yeah. What I don't understand is when they're at that breakfast table and they're all gossiping about each other, we saw it in tonight's episode, Rachel gossiping about Fiona, is how can she not hear?
I know, because they speak so loudly.
We can hear it so clearly. And Fiona was like 2 down from her and she was like, it's Fiona. And announcing.
I mean, they're all mic'd, right? And they're like turning up their
going,
mics.
it's Fiona. She's going, it's Fiona.
Yeah, they're talking. I guess
Maybe
in that
the
case,
hubbub is
greater. But also in that case, I think she didn't care if Fiona heard.
true.
But yeah, normally they're very overt about it.
But also when they were all going, look at Jade, they were all like, look at Jade.
Jay's just like... I like with the side people when they drop a bit of lore that you've forgotten. When Adam was like, of course, as a ghost hunter. And I'm like, I've completely forgot that about you. I guess that was revealed in episode 1. That's never come up before, but okay.
Yeah, he's doing one of those classic, like, well, as a psychologist, I'm very good at reading people.
Yeah.
Like, as a ghost hunter, it's like, you've been not great.
I think he said, to be fair, as a ghost hunter, I'm not doing a good job of finding any ghosts, so...
Fair. So the challenge was all a bit of fun. We then had the smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
Did you pick that up?
Well, Claudia said that in the intro. She said it's all been smoke and mirrors. And speaking of which, here's the challenge.
But I didn't connect with me.
But she said it out loud.
But it's sometimes like when we say talk of the Townsends, because people see it written down.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that it's a play
On Talk of the Town.
on Talk of the Town. I was going to make a joke there and be like pie in the sky.
Oh, sorry.
So we have the challenge and then we head to the round table. And the people on the chopping block are Rachel, Stephen, and Fiona.
Yeah, they're on all 3 of them. And it's kind of an issue of like, not will a traitor go out, but like which traitor will go out. And also which traitor will betray which other traitor. And at this point, I think it clicks for Stephen and for us that he can completely get out of the library thing by going for Fiona. And you see, oh, that's where he's going.
The tone at the round table between Fiona and Rachel, was it? We're playing the game. We're kind of being these pantomime characters. It's kind of a fun Punch and Judy type situation. Or do you think it was a little bit vicious?
I think a little from column A, a little from column B. I
Yeah.
think they were playing it up a bit and not wanting, you never want to seem like you're too mad.
Yes.
You know, I'm definitely not crying. I'm actually laughing about this.
It was funny when Rachel was like, well, if you tell a lie, Fiona, you're a liar.
Fiona was actually taking it very hard, that the idea that she might be a liar, which is funny because she's a traitor.
Yes.
She's lying the whole time. I do think if I was around that table, and this was a conclusion reached later by some people, I would look at that as like, this is clearly 2 traitors arguing. Why are they both on each other so assured about this?
It was so passionate in a way that you can't go out and be so sure about someone,
Yeah.
surely. Like Rachel was 100% sure Fiona was a traitor and vice versa.
Even when someone like Amanda is so on Jade, she would always be like, I really think it's you, you know, and she'd
then when she's
caveat
writing when they're writing the name down, it's always like, but you know, I hope it's you. They were like, it's you.
Yeah. Which is the confidence that only a traitor can have. And Harriet, who I've said from the beginning is one of my favourites, she clocked that after the round table. She's like, I think this is a battle of the traitors. And she said a really smart thing to Adam where she was like, if you know someone's a traitor, keep them close.
Of course.
It's an enemies closer thing, which is a really smart way of playing the game.
It's what Wilf did with Hannah. Wilf and Hannah in season 1, they were best
Yeah.
friends. Hannah got to the end because she was best friends with Wilf and he kept her in.
No, but that's different because she didn't know he was a traitor. I'm talking about someone deliberately making friends with a traitor
Yes.
to keep themselves alive. I think Harriet is going to stick close to Rachel until she knows there's no point putting Rachel's name down now because she'll just get murdered.
Yeah.
So she's just keeping an eye on her. I'm really really, really intrigued to see what questions Harriet will ask.
I do not believe for a second that Fiona didn't write Rachel's name down, because what was her reasoning? She was like, she's a formidable woman.
Yes.
And I couldn't put her name down. She knew her best bet was to try and vote for Sam because it was her v Sam. I can't believe that she didn't put, that's why she didn't. If she thought the table was going for Rachel, she would have gone for Rachel.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, like she doesn't want to leave. Like there's no, you can't plan that far ahead and you're going to be such a magnanimous player. Like Sam got some votes.
Yes.
She was kind of, trying her hand.
I would have done the same if I was her. If I tried to sway the table and it looked like it wasn't going my way and it was going to be me versus another person, I would put the other person's name down. It's the smartest move you can do, because it can be a single vote that sends the other person home.
I have to say, I thought Fiona's closing speech was lovely. What was the line where she said, "I haven't had enough time to love you, but I really like you"?
Yeah.
Which is quite funny, because she has been with them the whole time.
It felt lighter when she was leaving. Like, I think she actually did leave gracefully.
It's so funny how they always do that switch.
Yeah.
Where they're like, sometimes they're crying, sometimes they're so upset, and then they stand up there and they're like, guys, it's been the best time ever. There's something about that final moment that I think takes a lot of weight off the shoulders.
Well, when you've been caught,
Yeah.
they're right.
You got me.
At the end of the day, they are right. They thought you were a traitor. You are a traitor. You have to stand up there and say, you got me.
So with Fiona gone, how safe do you think Rachel and Stephen are?
Much more safe.
I think Rachel's in danger. I think they're both in danger, but not for a while.
Yes.
I think they will cycle through. They'll banish Sam. They'll banish Jade. They'll get through all of their little bugbears that they can't get out of their heads.
Yeah.
And then eventually... But it could be that thing where they run out of people, and then by the time they figure out it's them, whoops, now we're near the final, and now you can't get them out.
I'm going to put it out there. I don't think they will get another traitor next week. I think all 3 episodes, Rachel and Stephen will get through, as long as Stephen doesn't make any other big mess ups. Touch all the wood.
But it doesn't matter what mistake he makes. He just survives no matter what.
I think that they are making it to finals week.
Wow, all the way.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll make it to the final.
Sure.
But I think they are make it to finals week.
I could see Rachel maybe falling at the final hurdle, but I could see Stephen at this point weirdly maybe winning.
Do you think Matthew came up with those questions by himself?
Look, it was a little bit of a who put 50p in Matthew. Someone who has been, perfectly fine, but never exactly been like Mr. Surprise on the show from what we've seen of him. I'm not going to say the producers gave him that big twisty thing, but like when you give someone the option, you can ask 2 questions.
And traitors can lie. As soon as they said traitors can lie, I thought, what's the point of this?
Yeah, I didn't really understand it. What possible trick question? But he did option B, which is just make like a series of requests, which apparently you can do.
I thought they were going to, honestly, my head went to like, you can ask the traitors a question. I was like, do you have blonde hair? That's really, I thought they were going to ask stuff like this. I didn't realize option C, recruit me, and requests was going to be allowed. What did you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to do stuff like, I don't know. There's that thing of like, one always tells the truth, one always lies.
I thought the same.
Is there some
if I
sort of...
ask you a question, will you tell the truth or will you tell a lie? It's the gates to heaven thing.
Yeah.
One of you will lie.
It's not heaven. I think heaven, they just let you in. Imagine God's like, wow, you had a really lovely life, but you can't answer the riddle.
What's that thing, though? They're guarding the gates of heaven.
No, it's not heaven. It's like, like some kingdom or something.
They're guarding the gates of heaven, and you say to one of them, "What will the other one say to me?"
Yeah.
And
will the other one lie to me or something?
Yeah, and whatever they say, it's the opposite of.
Yeah. And that's that puzzle that I will look up the answer to and then never remember it.
I know. We went on that walking tour and she asked us that, and I was like, I've looked up this answer so many times, and we're both kicking ourselves that we didn't know.
It's like me looking up the spelling of calendar.
What question would you have asked in that situation?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I think I would have probably asked something a bit rubbish.
Like what's your hair color?
Yeah, I think I would have done something trying to figure out who they are. Maybe which murder do you regret the most? Which is a fun question, but probably is a bit useless.
I honestly was going to say something like, how many of them are you? But then again, if they can lie, what is the point?
I'd just be like 50.
I'm guessing that they must have said, here are some possible options of things. Unless Matthew's a genius. I mean, we're going to have to see what Harriet asks.
Well, he is a creative director.
Well.
And this was nothing if not creative. And he is directing the game.
What do you think about Matthew's requests then?
So what I don't understand is that he went, who are you going to murder next? They said, Jesse. He said, I understand. He said, here's what I want you to do. Murder Jesse, then recruit me. Why does he want Jesse dead?
Because I think he was saying that they can't make a recruitment this night. He obviously doesn't want to get murdered. So he's saying, yeah, bin her off and then just take me.
Is he doing that to try and get some favour with them? I guess also, everyone always pretends this is like a team sport, but it's not. There's ultimately like one winner.
100%. People are saying that him and Rachel are brother and sister. That's the rumour mill. I mean, many rumour mills. At this point, I honestly think we would have seen photos come out if they were brother and sister. They would have been at a family Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, something like siblings, that's a little hard to hide. Although, do you have a lot of photos with your adult siblings all the time?
I could definitely dig up some photos of me and you together. So,
But we're married siblings, so it's different.
People were saying them two are siblings. Like he knows his sister's handwriting.
Okay.
And I mean,
Give me $1 million, I couldn't tell you what my sister's handwriting is.
and
I see you write every day.
I was going to say, why are we in dollars? People are saying that he knew that that was his sister's handwriting coming through. Because also, again, should they be telling Rachel, by the way, try and discuss? I would have done block capitals and in blood.
I would have written in my left hand, yeah, or put the pen in my mouth. Do you think they will recruit him? They don't have to. Be funny to just murder him.
The question thing is so difficult because if you can lie, what is the point? This is the only thing you can really do is like make a request. Keep me in till the end, recruit me. Like, there is no question that you can ask, I don't think, that could help you.
Well, there must be something you can ask that's clever enough. I am very curious to see what Harriet asks. I think Harriet is very clever.
Smart.
But I think Harriet also might deliberately, she's smart enough that she might ask really dumb questions.
Because she knows Rachel's in there.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to give away what she knows.
I would have gone in boldly and gone, hello, Rachel.
And then you just say,
That would have been gold.
you know what would be smart is to pick someone you definitely don't think is a traitor, walk in and be like, hello, Adam. And then they think you're clueless.
Yes, dumb.
Play dumb.
Yeah. Walk in and go, hello, Ross.
I know you faked your banishment.
You
Classic fake banishment.
No, seriously, what is the smartest question you could ask?
Rachel's not a traitor, but Ross is.
Very good. What is the smartest question you could have asked to the traitors to find out any sort of clue?
Let us know in the comments down below.
No, we have to come up with one idea.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Wherever you're
Rate
listening.
us 5 stars.
No, please do rate us 5 stars. Thank you to everyone who commented Minion yesterday, because of course Rachel was dressed like a minion. Today she was dressed like a human. I mean, you could ask, did you vote for Fiona?
Yeah, that was what I was going to say.
You know they did. Loads of people did.
But if you were a traitor and they asked, did you vote for Fiona? What do you write? Because they both voted for Fiona. So what do you write? Do you write yes or do you write no?
Because they might also think you're lying.
They might think you're lying, but what are you most likely to do? In a traitor scenario, I might write no if I had voted for her. I might say, no, I didn't.
But then they
vote for
would
her.
definitely think you're lying, because why would you just be honest about that?
It's tricky, isn't it?
It's tricky. Can I say, by the way, from a production standpoint, having them physically be in the room with Matthew as he walks in.
And that camera shot.
Yeah, which I don't think was faked. I think they did genuinely turn the camera from Matthew to them, which is so dangerous. Like, you've really got to, like, not soundproof it, but you've got to stage...
Reflections. People's glasses.
Also, like, if one of them coughs or something, you've got to stage manage it really carefully where he couldn't accidentally find out who they are, because then that really breaks the game.
You know, because they were speaking a little bit. She was like, what do you think? I mean,
Yeah.
Do you think that happened? Do you think we were tricked a little bit? Do you think there was one shot of here is him and here's the traitors? He said a question. They said, go outside. They can confer.
Yeah, there was probably a bit of that.
There's probably...
Or, you know, he did all his stuff. He left. They then filmed all the traitor stuff.
Rachel is going to have to come up with 2 questions she asked.
Yes.
And 2 responses, which
Yes.
would stress me out. If I was her, I'd actually rather have not won, because she's going to have to remember the lies.
Yes. She's going to have to think of good enough questions that also don't implicate her. And then think of actual answers the traitors would give.
God, my brain couldn't... I would be so stressed.
Because if I was Rachel and I did a like, did you vote for Fiona? And they said no, I'd be like, but that does that help me or?
Yeah, what helps her? You've got to be thinking 8 levels of what people are going to think about what you asked and what you said. But also, I guess, are people going to expect that you come back and share all your information with the group? Because depending on what Harriet and Matthew want to do, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Because also Matthew's going to have to lie about what he asked.
100%. He's going to have to come up with fake, well, at least one fake question.
Yeah.
I think Harriet's going to keep everything very close to the chest as well.
I think I'd do the same.
They're not obligated to share. Anyway, a very juicy episode and a very juicy week of episodes. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please follow the show on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Look, follow the show. I don't know why anytime I try and plug this show, you laugh in my face. But
No,
5-star review, please follow the show. It's the best way to get new episodes first.
Yeah, all right.
And you'll see our Pierce Brosnan interview when it comes out.
Yeah.
Which will be fun. Also, if you want something to listen to or watch in this little gap until the next Traitors episodes, we have lots of other fun things we've put out recently. Our interview with Dawn French.
Oh, yes.
Our interview with James Cameron.
Crazy
Person to me. That's all on the pod feed, so check it out. Bye.
I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.